Everybody, welcome to the stage, the Delta variant.
Here she is,
Miss
Delta variant.
You're listening to The Last Podcast with Bryan Renaud and Sheena Thornton, presented by Random Acts, with special guest star
Gina Palm. Welcome back. Welcome back, Gina.
It's so good to see you here on a different day than previous recording.
Another day.
It is a completely different day, that is correct. Yes,
yeah,
you are
that's
right.
why I'm on a different
What
outfit.
is the date except for in the future?
What is time?
What is time?
Today we are talking birthdays.
Birthdays.
Most people have them.
Most people have them. Bryan, you recently had one. How was it? How was that?
The big 3-0.
Ooh, that's a good one. Welcome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Welcome to
Thank
30s.
you. Cheers
to
30s.
30s.
Cheers to
3
30.
decades on her mother.
Do it. You're doing
Earth.
it. Yes.
So how does the death of your true youth feel?
You know, I feel like that happened about 24. I lost all optimism, most movement in like my back and legs.
Cool.
I basically became bedridden.
Have you ever slept so well that you wake up and your back hurts?
Yeah.
Like,
I feel
really
like-
just relaxed so much you wake up and everything feels broken?
I think that
You need
happens
a
just
new
because I'm
mattress.
broken. Yeah.
You need to invest in
well,
a
don't.
good...
Okay,
I think I'm just broken.
okay. Do not be the consequences of my actions.
I think it's just because I used my
Get yourself a
body
better
hard.
mattress.
So, Bryan, what did you do for your 30th birthday?
Well, I saw both of your lovely faces.
You did.
I had a really nice weekend. Lots of friends came through. The guy I was talking to did not.
Oof.
But, you know, I asked him not to talk about it on his vlog, so I will also keep the peace on
No, fuck
this.
that. Cardi B
No.
says you
No,
can choose
no.
violence.
I will
once
just
a
say
month.
this. I will say that he gave me an ultimatum, and I said I don't
I
entertain
thought
ultimatums.
you were going to say urinary tract infection.
Not to my knowledge. I drink a lot of cranberry juice. That's a lie, but I'm good to go in that department. But no, friends are great. And
Yeah.
watched a couple movies with my roomie.
Nice.
And had some people over, had a little rooftop shindig, and then went and saw a hilarious comedy event. And then went and played in a photo booth for a bit.
Yeah. That sounds like a good
Sucked
birthday.
up for a photo booth.
Best
Sounds-
birthday?
Sounds like a
Yeah.
beautiful birthday. Wait, so who was your favorite comedian on that show?
I would say the guy who... No, I'm just kidding. You know I was all eyes for you, boo. Gina Palm.
What's her name?
Performing
What's her name?
Gina Palm. I've said it. You just burped while I was saying it.
I tried to not.
Go to see the comedy stylings of Gina Palm.
Chicago comedian.
Google her. Facebook
Facebook, the name book.
Instagrammable. Gina
And,
Palm.
okay.
Recently on TikTok.
So yes, that was my most recent birthday, you know, going to 30. And overall, I would say I have really not good birthdays. So I
So
don't
the best
I don't
birthday.
look forward to celebrating
Oh,
them.
I totally
In the
agree.
past, I have had some great ones. I don't want to say they were all bad, but I would say the past, 6, I was relying on, a significant other that could never be relied on.
100%
Yeah.
So it just
feel
never
that.
Been
ever
there.
came through, and then would, make me feel guilty for even saying anything at all.
Oh, it's not good enough. Then
Right,
I'm
you just...
here.
Nothing I do is good enough.
Yeah. No.
Yeah,
so yeah, no,
sometimes
it was a really great year when I was nervous to look forward to.
Amazing.
Yay! Oh, I'm so
Happy to hear. Happy to hear.
And Sheena, you had the big 4-0 recently.
No, I did not. Wow.
That was
Just
shady
wow.
as hell.
That was
The whole
so
point is that
shady.
she looks like she's 20.
They're so shady. I'm basically.
I didn't even look at the
I'm-
camera. I looked over.
I'm basically Angela Bassett. I'm not looking at the camera at all.
I
You don't have
straight
to.
up thought even though Sheena's told me her birthday, I've always looked at her as perpetually 29
We
years
had
old.
a moment at a
basically.
grocery store together where I bought booze and you were just like,
No.
and I was like, yes. And you're like, no. And I was like,
We had a
Yes.
moment at a grocery store together
Oh,
where we were chased by
God.
2 men.
the same grocery store.
Yeah, it was very scary. We actually had to run.
We ran, and I had to give instructions on how my doors work so Bryan could get in fast enough.
We were meeting about this podcast.
Yes.
And we, of course, needed snacks or drinks.
Wow.
Both. We went there. It was only 9 p.m. But there was no one else out. It was like, what, a Monday or a Tuesday or something?
On Fullerton.
And these guys, like, we were walking and they were coming towards us and they eyed us the fuck down. We both, like, already looked at each other because we were like, this is weird. And then we pass them and we get 3 or 4 feet past them and they literally just turn around and start following us. And since they had come from the opposite direction, we knew that they were actually following us. We were only, like, less than a block away from Sheena's place, and we, like, literally, Sheena was like, they're following us, like, we need to go.
Absolutely
You looked at me and you
terrifying.
said, are we taking this serious? And I was like, I'm holding mace and I have 911
You
already
want to have
dialed.
the disbelief. Like, no, it's a
we are taking
misunderstanding.
this serious.
Oh,
But,
we're
like,
overreacting.
Right. At some point, you have to be like, no, like, this is actually fucking real. And we ran, and you got the door open, and we shut it, and they passed by, like, 3 seconds later. Like, we barely...
You locked my front door. I don't know if my neighbors could get in or fuck them.
I don't care.
Nobody
else was getting
nobody
in.
was coming in there.
So, yeah, that happened.
Podcast
Don't
started.
go out in the city at
Past
night,
9,
said
no.
my grandma.
Don't do it.
She was like, you don't go out at night, do you? And I was like, well, I live in the city, so sometimes.
Your grandma know my mom?
Oh, God, probably.
Oh, anywho. Your birthday was good.
Yes.
I'm glad.
Birthday stories from either of you?
Oof,
Anything spectacularly good, bad?
My most recent birthday was this past June, so not too long ago.
Oh, both of your summer birthdays, by the way. I just want to interject.
We love a summer birthday.
I'm
Well,
a
not
winter
in
birthday.
school, but that's
I
in
have
school.
had absolutely abysmal birthdays.
Oh, no.
For the last, I'd say, 6 years. Yeah, and like, I mean, like, bad.
Yeah.
And so I told my sister about that, like how I was feeling, and I was like, man, I'm not excited, like, and I love other people's birthdays. I love celebrating people's presence in your life and, you know, and their achievements. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So I was telling her I felt really pessimistic about it. I was like, well, the last few have just been terrible.
Fair enough.
And she was like, okay. Well, she was like, well, I'll do whatever I can to make it a good day for you. And I was like, I know you will. You're an angel. Cool. So my actual birthday, she had, like, reached out to one of my closest friends, and they booked a rage room.
Yes.
Awesome.
So I literally got to beat a broken down motorcycle with a baseball
I love
bat.
that.
I want to do that so bad.
I got to take like PC screens, like computer screens, and just haul them over my head.
Yes.
What's you
It was so bomb. It was so therapeutic.
Amazing.
And then she, like, threw me a surprise party, which was like, I've never had that done for me, and it was legitimately so, like, I was genuinely very surprised.
Yeah, that's lovely.
That's fantastic.
My sister's the bomb. She worked so hard for that. Like, she's awesome. And this is truly the best birthday that I've had. 27 was the best one for a very, very long time.
No.
I feel like a cliche when I'm like, most birthdays are terrible, but it's like fucking society and
They
people
really
put so much
Sitting
pressure
Yeah.
on making this one day matter. And then it's like, even if you have a party or even if you do something, like, is it good enough? Did it do enough? Like, nothing will ever be good enough. Like, it's just, there's so much fucking pressure for no reason.
There's so much fear
like,
of
I would
missing
be
out.
happy to watch TV.
Yeah, and I was sitting here thinking, like, what's the best one? Because you've both been like, this is the best in a long time. I don't have a best one. Ever since I was little. Like, my birthday's in the winter. One year, it fell on Super Bowl Sunday because it's in January. And guess
That
what?
would be
It
terrible.
snowed on top of that.
Of
My
course.
mom had, like, rented out a place because she was... My mom's that person that, like, fucking goes all out. She rented out a place. I want to say, like, 9 people came. It was so bad. It was
But
like,
those 9 people cared
they
about
came
you.
in
and
the
they came to
snow and
celebrate
Super Bowl
you.
Sunday, but like, I'm a child, come to my party. And it's just never
Right,
been
I
great
get that.
from there. Like, just like you said, bad partners who are embarrassing you on your birthday. You can't take them out.
Oh, where do
Oh,
we
where do we
begin?
begin?
Where do we begin?
2019, 2020, 2018,
Oh, honey.
2017.
Cheers to that.
man.
Just mostly
Oh,
just the
man.
worst partners just mucking up your day.
Sorry to anyone who saw Moulin Rouge on Broadway on August 8th, 2019, because my partner ruined it for anyone in the balcony.
Or anyone that was at Chicago, the Boiler Room in 2016. So sorry for your evening.
I plead the fifth.
Very very sorry that you
But, like,
experienced
fuck
that.
you in the meantime, but, like, that's it.
Yeah, like,
On that note, we'll have a word. I'm looking into the microphone. On that note, a word from our sponsor.
Are you afraid of the dark? Maybe you were. Maybe you are. Maybe you should be. This October, join Random Acts for Scary Stories Around the Fire, featuring 5 horrifying audio tales. The Scary Stories experience will be available at youtube.com/randomacts or wherever you enjoy your podcasts. Visit randomactschicago.com for more.
Welcome back to the last podcast.
thank you for listening.
Sheena wants to talk about Zodiac Signs.
Let's do it. Let's get
do
into
it.
it.
I didn't mean for that to sound shady.
Let's do it. It's so shady. Nobody
And I
else
support
does.
it wholeheartedly.
Just me. It's fine.
Gina also does, I think.
Sure. I mean, I'm still very skeptical, but I think it's interesting.
Yeah.
And
100%.
it's also very funny, like, how devoted people get to those stereotypes. I really do think some of them kind of hit a little bit.
That's what I'm saying.
But I can see where people are like, oh yeah, of course it does. It's so broad.
It's straight bullshit.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. But also, I read a horoscope almost every day.
I used to do that, but then I stopped because I was like, this is just broad, straight bullshit. But no, some of it fits. Like,
It does.
people send me Aquarius memes, and I'm just like, I didn't expect to be read today. So,
So you're an
great.
Aquarius, Gina.
I'm an
Aquarius.
I'm a Gemini.
People hate
Get
both of
out
us.
of my couch.
People hate both of us.
Cancer rising, Scorpio moon.
How do you know this? How do you find your rising and your moon and
You
shit?
have to
Like,
do
what
your whole time and. where
Also,
you were
it's
born.
worth noting. It's worth noting. I read tarot cards.
Mm.
I'm very, very like spiritually.
You have to do
inclined in
that for
way.
us.
Please read
I
my
would
tarot
love
card.
to. Not on camera, because that's not how that works.
Okay.
On audio?
Don't think so.
Maybe. Okay. All right.
On audio.
I'm a producer at heart.
Let's get this
I'm
content.
in show business. So I'm totally open to the idea that like your energy drives characteristics related to your sign.
Mm-hmm.
Also, within the zodiac, the sun and the moon are so integral to your sign and how you act as a consequence of that. And what controls the moon is the tide, is water.
Yeah.
And you are mostly water as a human. So
True.
do I think that it's entirely ridiculous that there's some sort of association? No. Do I think that we're portraying it accurately right now? No. Like, I think we've been intrigued, and that's great, but we are not correct with our with how we're perceiving.
Well,
Yep.
if you're an expert, we'd love to speak with you.
That'd be so interesting because
Tell
I
us
mostly
your
think
side
it's
of the-
bullshit.
Kristen Chenoweth.
Oh.
I mean, literally, y'all, we have a fucking crystal
It's
here
mostly bullshit.
with the fucking in our studio.
What are you? What's your sign?
I'm a Leo. That is the world record for the three of us ever being quiet.
I was gonna say, have you not had enough attention in a minute, you Leo?
Yeah, I started to fucking turn to dust. You didn't applaud for me when I spoke. No, I feel like there are definitely Leo characteristics.
Mm-hmm.
Characteristics that I fit, but there are also some I don't. I'm quite introverted at heart.
Dude, 100%. I feel like there are core characteristics
Yes.
assigned to zodiac signs that totally scan. Like, my sister is a Taurus, and some of the main characteristics there are about, like, nesting well and being comfortable and giving and, like enjoyable to be around and accommodating, like, all those things. And that's, like, totally her. She's, like, such a great host. She works hard, but she also, like, chills hard as fuck. It's, like, so perfect. And I know that people don't like Geminis,
I'm with you on that
so
one.
I guess I can't
I
really...
mean, do you feel there's like two sides of you? Do you feel like that part's true? Because my experience with Gemini is
that's all I've ever heard.
Completely true.
And my friend Gemini's 100%.
I long-term dated a Gemini, and I
never
month-long talked to a Gemini, and both.
See, I'd say my split is like, which is 90% of the time, is very hyper pushover, very over empathetic, super concerned with consequence.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like very just like whatever you want, like 80% of my life. And then there's the other teeny tiny part that's very much like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't have to explain this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be here. I don't like you. That was stupid. I didn't like that. With no follow up, you know. But that's like such a teeny tiny portion of me. I'm trying to get more of that because I've always been so like, I'll be whoever you want me to be, like, and that's not sustainable.
No. And it's and it's the myth is it's 50-50, like you're split, but that's not true.
It's not that clean.
No. Why would it be? Why would it be? Yeah. Aquariuses are detached. We are unemotional. We've been called.
I can see those things for you.
We've been called
robots. I was
robots.
say that too, but I don't want that to
not
be
in an offensive
offensive.
way.
I'm just like nothing.
Sheena just leaves.
No, I've always seen you as very organized and collected,
Methodical.
Yeah.
Right,
why
like
something's
To yourself,
routine
unless
based.
you specifically choose otherwise.
Yeah, so
But
totally.
when I choose otherwise, I'm totally emotional. I had someone recently tell me that I just am the most emotional person they've ever met. But they've known me for so long.
Who would ever say that? You're a liar.
They must not know a lot of people.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, truly. I mean, you show your emotions,
but
you're not over the top and like demanding, you know?
No.
You have an honest moment.
That's what I think is very true. But then there's also like weird Aquarius like connections where like I've read that we're uncompatible with every other sign. Which is
how
strange.
do you feel about the compatibility of signs?
I literally have the most incompatible chart.
Yeah, Gemini as well.
Doesn't everybody have equal
Gemini,
amounts of people
Cancer,
they...
Scorpio. It's two-faced, emotional, sex-driven.
Oh,
That's
no.
like what I have.
I've heard uncompatible for me, but also I've heard only Aries, and I've only dated Aries men. And it has not worked out.
I attract Scorpios like it's my job. Scorpios and Pisces. Pisces even more so.
Yeah, I feel like I attract Geminis and Pisces.
Oh, wow.
I cannot get away from them, and they're so, like, idealistic and, like, self-serving, hyper-emotional, shallow, like, just, exhausting.
A Pisces is that.
And I'm like, how the fuck do I keep finding myself here?
There are many wonderful, well-adjusted Pisces as well, I'm sure.
All Pisces.
There's some Aries that could use a little therapy.
All
Pisces matter.
All Pisces matter.
Aww.
Thank you for listening to the last podcast presented by Random Acts. Visit randomactschicago.com for more.